All right, so this has been like the craziest chapter of the arc so far. One of the craziest chapters of the series. It's kind of just a device for us to see that Izuku can communicate with the first user of One for All, or One for All himself, with the brother of All for One, whatever his name is. Maybe we'll get it eventually because we got All for One's name, Shigaraki. So it's possible we'll get it in the future, but I guess it was kind of showing us what was happening in the previous chapter because when Shigaraki was shocked and like he gained consciousness, Izuku was like immediately aware of it. So we were like speculating, is this all tied together? And it appears that it is, because this is happening because now we know for sure that the All for One quirk, like the original one from the dawn of Quirk Society 100 years ago, is now reactivated. And the one that has been around in circulation as of recently has been like the synthetic clone of it. So now that the real one is active again, I suppose that One for All being attached to it, somehow through the quirk abilities and all that crazy stuff that we see going on with the vestiges and whatever was going on with Shigaraki in chapter 270, all of that crazy supernatural otherworldly dimensional rifting stuff. It seems to be connected between these two quirks, and now Izuku is aware that Shigaraki is awake and is more powerful than originally, because it says a transcendent being. So basically what's going on here is we've got the Force, okay? Like, we all know that Horikoshi loves Star Wars, and he's implemented so much of the lore into this series. I mean, he's not copying them or anything, but this is pretty much the Force. We've got the dark side with All for One, and we've got the light side of the Force with One for All. So, come on. And we know that the Force is just this crazy thing that you pretty much could do anything, and there's always new things happening, and you can communicate with each other through it regardless of, like, where you originated from, and that's kind of what we see going on here. So, Horikoshi has created his own Force with these two quirks, which is fine. It's awesome. It further goes into, like, singularity and all that stuff. So we're coming to the craziness of this chapter. Oh my god, this sequence is incredible. It's just out of nowhere. I really did not expect this to happen. I didn't know what to expect when Shigaraki was going to come conscious. I thought he was going to take quirks or something. I didn't know that he was just going to go nuclear immediately. And that's almost literally what he does here, because this one panel with Exless next to him, oh my god, it's going to go down as one of the most iconic panels. It has to. Like, the way that he looks at him, it's like, yeah, that's pretty much the only look that you really give. You're at the center of ground zero, like a nuke is going off in your face, pretty much, because Exless is the first to go here. I mean, at least I assume so. I assume that he was completely vaporized along with the rest of the hospital here. So rest in peace, Exless. I hope that he at least took your quirk, because that would be cool. Shigaraki using the laser eyes, or eye. Maybe he can use two because he's just so powerful. But anyway, so he's nuking the hospital here with the peak of decay. Like, it was pretty powerful at the end of the liberation arc, but this is we can assume way more powerful. And wow, one of the best feats in the series, quite easily. I mean, like, we haven't really seen this much. Outside of himself, what he did to Deka City, like when he sunk like 3/4 of it from what it appeared to be. And then, like the feats that All Might have and All for One has and all of that stuff. So he's like in the very top tier. Like, any higher than this, and we're going to have to go to like All Might Rising stuff to see All for One like nuke that island or wherever they were. And then other than that, just kind of like speculating what All Might could have done in his prime, maybe. But wow, this is power that no one can really deal with right now. And I know I've said that before about the high-end Nomus, but on paper it was kind of getting to that point. But now we're seeing it literally. And that brings us to the death count here, because it's, wow, there's so many characters. So many characters, and so many prominent characters are just gone now. Just in the blink of an eye, this is how powerful Shigaraki is. This is like the boss of the game, essentially. And this is what happens now. It's like Thanos snapping the gauntlet. That's almost what it looks like, too. The way that the decay happens, it's pretty much the same thing. So, Exless, gone. Crust is gone. Had an epic ending, though. He pulled off the Arnold at the end of Terminator 2. Awesome, iconic. Crust is a legend. He'll go down as such. And then as the hospital goes, we see that there's quite a few characters that are making it out of here. But after we go over these sequences, I'll go over everyone who I think is gone at this point or should be. So most of the main characters, like the prominent characters that have some kind of development on them, they have survived. Like Ryukyu and Aizawa. Like Crust sacrificed himself for Aizawa. So, Endeavor, Mirko's making it. So she's going to make it out of here despite her having those serious injuries to her. Yujiko, all of them, they're all getting out of here. And that brings us to Wash. Finally, we get to see some glimpse of Wash's quirk, whatever it could be. And it's like he has like these bubbles coming out of his stomach, like his washing machine stomach. And these bubbles appear to be transporting what looks to be like trucks or something, or like a mobile home or a mobile base. I don't know. It's something big. It looks like it's kind of like a truck that has like a station inside of it or something like that. So like maybe that's what Wash excels in. He's like the evacuation rescue type of hero. It's kind of like 13, but he's like the best of them or one of the best. Hawks would be considered the best, but like he's one of the best as well. Like he's not a powerhouse. He's kind of just like a saving person, but can also probably wreck you with these bubbles. But I assume that his quirk is more than just this. I'm sure he can do more. Maybe he can like spray water or something too. But anyway, Wash is dead. Unfortunately, he's got to be dead. I mean, he's right there, pretty much. Like we see it behind him, like the tidal wave coming down on him. So maybe Wash will survive. So let's go over the others. We've got the high ends. They've got to be gone. Obviously, we saw them just getting vaporized, and they were already pretty much done anyway. We saw that like once all the heroes were able to congregate and start working together, they were getting dominated, which was very satisfying to see, and I did not expect to go down that simply for them. So yeah, they're gone, and then like I just say, we see like just ambiguous heroes, so there's many casualties in there as well, and then I think Pixie Bob, Mandalay, and Tiger, they might be gone too because they're like caught up in the tidal wave. I mean, maybe Pixie Bob's quirk can stop it, possibly, hopefully. That would really suck if they're all gone and like Ragdoll's the only one left and she just has to live quirkless just with all of her closest friends and colleagues gone. Nah, we'll see what happens. Same thing with Wash. They're like in the in-between zone with him, but wow. Definitely a lot of characters getting nuked here. Insane. And then that brings us to the other reveal, surprising. Izuku. And also before we even go to that, let me also say that like the hospital is way closer to where the evacuation squad with the Izuku, Bago, and the rest of them are. I thought they were like 50 miles apart, but I guess I read incorrect translation. Well, that's good because I'm glad that they're closer because now obviously they're gonna come and fight, and this is where the final battle's gonna happen because Shigaraki is gonna come to them, and then they're gonna go to Shigaraki. But anyway, back to Izuku. So now he's using 45% of One for All, which is awesome. This is really cool. The aesthetic changes. He starts to get like the electricity that he gets when he's at 100%. So I'm sure that will become more and more prominent as his levels, as his percentage power goes up. But also it's like, maybe this gives hope for the series not to be over, at this arc. I'm going to make a video about it. I won't talk about it too much in the review, but yeah, he's doing a St. Louis smash, and it looks awesome, like super powerful. This is pretty much the strongest that we've seen Izuku without being 100%, I guess, right? Because this is starting to emulate what we've seen All Might was doing, like when he was throwing like air smash punches and stuff like that. It was like pretty powerful, and the radius of it was pretty big, and it's getting there right now. Like he's pretty much stopping the spread of the decay by just smashing it with air. I guess that works. So, hey. But yeah, I mean, that's the end of the chapter, and your guess is as good as mine as to what happens after this. I don't know how they're going to win. It's going to have to be some Deus Ex vestige stuff going on, possibly. Or Shigaraki just wins, and then they leave and run away and go to America, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to make a video about that, too, but let me know what you think about this chapter in the comments. If you like the review, please give it a like. And I also have a Patreon. It gives you access to a weekly Q&A. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.